Greetings agents, this is the Mediocre Gamer. Thank you for tuning in today, I really appreciate it. I'm really glad that you're here and I hope that you are doing well. If you find my videos helpful, please remember to subscribe, like, comment and share. The topic of today's video is a new and up and coming open world game mode called Retaliation. Now this is not actually in the game yet, it's due to be released at the start of next season in a couple of weeks time. I was able to have a bit of a play around with it on the recent public test server, and as I said, that game mode is called Retaliation, and it basically allows you to gain access to exotic crafting blueprints. There's a little bit of legwork that you need to do prior to that, so let's have a look at the description now. So your enemies are retaliating. Each hostile faction now has an agitation level, which increases when you complete activities and missions against them. When a faction's agitation meter is full, they will mark a named zone for retaliation. The Mega Map has a new retaliation tab, where you can view the status of each faction and intercept their operations. During a retaliation, you must retake all control points in the area within a set time limit. Retaking control points and eliminating hostiles gives you additional time. Once a retaliation concludes, you will gain rewards based on the amount of control points that have been retaken, and the faction's agitation level resets. You may encounter kill squads, teams of elite enemies who will ambush you during retaliations. Eliminating them yields time, as well as a chance to gain exotic crafting blueprints. So that is Retaliation in a nutshell. So basically what you do is, on the map, there is now the Retaliation tab, as you can see here, and it gives you the faction status. So by completing missions, overtaking control points, or doing bounties or other open world activities for that faction, it will then start to fill up their agitation meter. So you can see here on the screen cap, the outcast agitation meter is about halfway full. So the game doesn't tell you how much each activity provides you as far as filling up their agitation meter, but from playing this in the PTS, heroic missions and heroic control points seemed to move the meter the most. I didn't do any heroic bounties, but they possibly also would move the meter the most. So once you have filled up the agitation meter, you then get a notification that you can start the retaliation, and then the screen changes to something like this. A zone will be highlighted and then the countdown timer starts. So in this example here, I had 6 minutes to retake those 2 control points. There is no fast travel or anything like that. If you die, you go back to the safe house and you start again, and the clock does not stop. So basically it is a race against the clock. Now certain activities will actually grant you additional time. So killing hostiles, each hostile gives you about an extra 2 seconds or something. So you kind of need to decide whether or not it's worth your while staying and engaging hostiles to get an extra few seconds, or whether you just make a beeline for the closest control point. Once you've taken over a control point, you do get quite a bit of extra time added. So you can see here, when I captured the No Hope Hotel control point, I got an additional 4 minutes of time, taking my total up to 9 minutes. So I basically then had 9 minutes to make my way to the choke to retake it. As mentioned, you do get the kill squads spawning, and usually they spawn as soon as you either start taking over a control point or you complete a control point. So they are 5 or 6 named elites that you have to deal with, and you also get some time back once you have completed kill squad. Now if you do actually run out of time, you do get a notification obviously saying that you're out of time, and that concludes the retaliation, but you still actually do get some rewards. So here is an example of where I only retook No Hope Hotel. I didn't actually complete the choke, I ran out of time, and I got some rewards. I got some tactical assessment, some biohazardous canisters, which I'm not too sure what they are used for. And I got a blueprint for the Sweet Dreams shotgun. Now, here is an example of where I actually successfully defended the territory. So I completed all 3 control points. I got a small amount of XP. I got some of this crystallized spice, which once again, I'm not too sure what that's for. I got some tactical assessment, and I got a blueprint for the Centurion's scabbard. So this is quite a challenging game mode, particularly on heroic. I failed quite a few times just because of the sheer amount of named hostiles and elite enemies that you have to contend with, particularly if you happen to get a kill squad spawning on you while you are overtaking a control point, then it becomes quite chaotic and hectic. And yes, I failed quite a few times, but it's not impossible. And as I said, the rewards there are something that is worthwhile, and a lot of people are going to be doing this because this is something that hasn't been offered in the game before. So being able to actually get a blueprint for an exotic item, not just a recrafting or a recalibrating type blueprint, even if you don't actually own the exotic item that you get the blueprint for, well then you're now going to be able to craft it from scratch. So this is quite an interesting game mode that the devs have come up with here. It's quite entertaining to play around with, and I had a lot of fun while in the PTS participating in Retaliation. So as I said, this isn't in the game just yet. It is going to be released very soon at the start of the new season in a couple of weeks' time. So have a look for that. It's a lot of fun and something that you can repeat over and over again and build up your exotic blueprints and also exotic weapons because you're able to craft them from scratch. So there you have it. That is an overview of the new game mode Retaliation. I'd be keen to hear your thoughts, what you think of it, and if you had a chance to play it in the PTS as well, how you found it. But that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time, stay safe out there, agents, and take care.